So, Sean, people can't see here in the Isle of Man what a stormy day it is. We're properly into the start of autumn. A quarter's gone by already, and it's been a bumper quarter in terms of investment returns, which, in spite of everything, in spite of a lot of uncertainty, a lot of geopolitical events going on, stock markets have just really moved on to the next level. Just explain some of the material things that have happened this quarter for us.
Yeah, I think we found confidence return to markets. We've seen resolutions with some of the geopolitical, some of the fiscal conflicts. So Trump and his tariff resolutions, investors have felt more confident returning to markets. So we've seen equities roaring back again. S&P 500 is at an all-time high. FTSE 100 is at an all-time high. But interestingly, gold is also at an all-time high. And personally, I think it's because people want hard insurance against the equity strength. But yeah, it's a really interesting environment that we're in currently.
And so with some of those big equity movements, who are the players that have done particularly well, or what's been driving that equity market strength?
Yeah, so again, really interesting seeing some incredible moves in the secular AI growth space. Companies like Oracle, a single day move of 36% after they received a $300 billion contract from OpenAI. Google had its best quarter in 20 years. It was up 40%, again on AI strength. The investment that continues to go into this space is phenomenal, and it doesn't look to be slowing anytime soon. But we've also seen broader strength and recovery, again, because Trump and his tariff plans have calmed down a little bit. And we've seen some, strength back in things like healthcare. Healthcare had quite a nice bump recently.
So with this positive movement, we're seeing more investors coming back into the market, I guess, buoyed by that confidence. And certainly we're seeing, plenty of new inquiries from clients who, as you say, are feeling a lot more confident about maybe not sitting on the sidelines and coming in. So with all this positivity, what does that mean looking forward? Can it carry on? Are we, expecting a bit of a pullback, or is it more steady as she goes?
Yeah, I think a lot of the uncertainties that maybe we were facing earlier in the year, they've been resolved. The economic backdrop, strength in economic data, company earnings, they've all essentially added to that positive sentiment. So I do think it's legitimate, the confidence that's returned. I would maybe caveat that by saying, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves with some of the expectations. I still think AI is going to change the world, but we just need to have the valuations not get too far ahead of themselves. But it's definitely going to continue to be positive, but just be mindful of any economic data weakness or things like that might crop up.
Understood. Well, that's brilliant. So, let's keep our fingers crossed for the rest of the year, and we'll see what the next quarter brings.